felt like going through the wildest portal ride.
It was very intense, and I felt all the frequencies going through me, putting everything back where it belonged.
And just watch you literally be a portal and open portals and conjure storms.
Every electrical pulse of the nerve system is like a thunderstorm within us. What happens if you align that power outside? So a thunderstorm can relate to this. So the more people are aligned to that connection of your nerve system with the nerve system of the planet, you can move a storm. And it's kind of a quantum reality in which now science understands everything exists because we observe it. There's an observer. And that observer is not just us, like, oh, I am observing it. Thousands of beings are observing this. So that's why it exists. So when you change your point of view of what you're observing, suddenly you see the links and you can transform that reality.
Sire your child wait me Mi no way to say Semnoid I'm my way to lay mine all Nur ich Silein me tol mein nei sheon made in my essay nui I
Inviting you to take a big breath in through your nose, down into your belly. Grounding back down into this present space and time. Bringing your awareness to your cells, feeling them illuminated in greater harmony, balance, and peace. Feel your cells dancing for your soul song. Thank you, my brother, for existing. Whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Come back into space.
Well, you definitely are a portal. That felt like going through the wildest portal ride, as is your life. That's like just a endless adventure, like a treasure hunt adventure of things that happen. And I'd love to hear from you what your experience was like, because I have so many things to say. I'm going to hold it back.
First, thank you very much, because of course, well, you were the day of the eclipse, and for me it was very, very tough, because I have been for a whole month following the darkness to understand what it was doing in my path, and what was the code that I needed to follow, and everything led me to be under the shadow of the eclipse, and to face it, to face that darkness, not only mine, but
Like collective.
the system.
Yeah.
And it was very intense. I couldn't come back to myself like for 3 days, and I stayed like that for, well, since the eclipse. I was like 30% or 15% battery of energy, just staying at home, not willing to talk to anybody, and this felt like a realignment of all of that, and plus is the perfect closure, because the new moon eclipse, and now today is full moon, Buddha's moon, and the eclipse was about bring the mind home, which is one of the teachings of Buddha, and bring the house of Buddha. And so it's a perfect closure, and I felt like all the frequencies going through me, like accommodating, like putting everything back where it belonged, in order for me to reestablish my structure of energy.
Yeah.
So thank you. It really felt like coming back from hell. Yeah.
And I love that about our relationship, because you are endlessly giving so much to the collective, in all the orchestrations that you're doing, everything that you channel. I've been with you, for the absolute most magical and mystical experiences of my life. Like, how is this even real life right now? And so to be able to be in a position where I can, be supportive to you and your path, and, what you need to do on this planet, like, it's the deepest, deepest, deepest honor.
Thank you.
And wow, it was, I felt that I was you in so many, and you also sing. So it was like in the beginning, I just felt you. And everything wanted to be so specific and precise.
Yeah.
It was like it had to have absolute precision. And there was also this sort of Buddha-like, there was like a majesty about it that was like everything needs to be in its right place. Everything needs to have, even my posture was like, needing to be really pristine. And I could just feel in my own body, like the density of energy. Like, Ari jokes because your body is super tense. Like you need,
it's the worst.
Like you need like 500,000 hours of body work to try to loosen up your muscles. But actually it's like, it's all the energy that is you. And I could feel that, like really just, like this is like, there's a density, which is just a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Like so much energy, but it's like,
yeah.
It was really...
And it felt like an operation. like for me, when you said precision, like everything needed to be specifically in the right place, because I felt I was opening it in the hospital table. And like all my organs were like, okay, I have to relocate this here, this there. So that's how it felt. Like I felt like literally having a reset in the hospital of frequency.
Totally, totally. And it felt really strongly too, because for people who don't know you, you've spent a lot of time in Egypt, channeling beings in Egypt and going to the different temples and the different places. And one that you've connected with is Hathor, which is really connected to me personally because the type of sound healing that I facilitate was channeled to my teacher from the Hathors. And that presence also, I also like really felt the presence of Hathor. And I think that was an aspect of this needs to be so pristine and precise.
Yeah.
There's no like fun play, like it's like surgical.
Well, the what happened was in a moment because I'm used to it, when I started to feel this energy, I was about to express something that I had inside. And in that moment, you said literally a word in Atlantean that was ishpale, which means shut up. Which means literally, shut up, now receive. and I was like, I was not used to, but literally you said that word, which is like,
wow,
shut up, now receive.
Now receive. Down, shut up and receive.
Ishpale. And it was, so that's how it felt. And at the end, when I was relocating all the pattern of energy of my inner portal, it made me reconnect with this Buddha energy that I have been working the last month, and said Buddha became the light. Instead of following the light, he decided to become the light. So he got outside the game of pursuing to becoming. I'm not following the light, I am becoming the light. And to become the light, you have to be held by the universe. Like all the energy of the universe needs to hold and press the gravity of all the creation for the light to appear from nothing. So it needs to feel the pressure of the entire universe. And that's the word Hathor. Hat means house and Hur means light. So the house of light is actually all the universe, which is the cow, the mother, that is holding everything in the womb to create the spark of light in the center.
Wow.
Instead of pursuing it. So it came back to all the stories of like the first time that we spoke about bringing the temple back of the mother, the frequency and everything. And basically, when I was in India last month, I think, or no, this month.
You were in Sri Lanka. You were
I don't remember when
the
I was.
number of countries that you're in, I'm like, where are you now? Because you'd be like, I'm off to Svalbard. Like, what's there? Some epic story, I'm positive.
I think it was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I don't remember.
When you went with, was it before the
eclipse? Yeah. 1 day before the eclipse, actually, I came from that. So the reason why I came so fast from there was because in South India, with the cows everywhere, of course, they're holy, they're sacred. So cows everywhere, and they said, bring Buddha back home, which is the inner light, surrounded by the cows, and to do that, the antipode of find the balance. They said, if you go to a map and you see the triangle of India, and then you have Sri Lanka, which is the pearl that emerges from the triangle. If you follow the line, there is an island, a specific island, which is in the middle of the whole Indian Ocean, which is called Il Amsterdam, and it's the only antipode, physical, geographical antipode of the United States. Antipode is what is in the other side of the planet. So what is exactly in the opposite. So all North America is in the Indian Ocean, like faces the Indian Ocean, which is nothing. The only thing that there is in the center is one tiny, tiny, tiny island full of birds. That's the only thing that there is. It's called Il Amsterdam, and it's the only antipode of the States.
Wow.
So if you follow that line from India and the biggest portal of the planet, which is there between India and Sri Lanka, where the cow is holy, where they keep the holiness of the cow, the only place in the planet, and you follow the straight line, you cross Texas. So until you arrive to that island.
Wow.
So it said the other side of the planet is where the house must be built. So that's why the eclipse went through here, through all Texas. That's why I flew to the other side of the planet, to see the darkness. And now in the same place that I went to the darkness, I came here, and it was the energy of Hathor, the cow that holds the light. So it was like a perfect cycle of one cycle of the moon. So
wow.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, so for people who don't know who you are, I'm assuming everyone that follows me probably definitely knows who you are. But for people who don't, Matías remembers all of his past lives. And when you express that, we're all sort of like a cell in the body of Gaia, and yours is a memory cell. So your ability to sort of like the way that you work with, I mean, it's honestly magic what you're doing. I'd love to talk about magic now that I have you here.
An easier way that I found to explain what I do in the planet is acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
Yeah. Because everyone kind of knows that you set pressure in one part of the body and relax. I don't know, maybe you do it here and relax the heart or all this part of the body. So when you go to a specific place on the planet and you put some pressure with alchemy, with the magic. So you put the pressure and maybe you can move a lot of things that were locked in that region. So here is an arm, but in the planet is a region or a country.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's a really, really beautiful analogy. And simultaneously, when I think of human beings being cells of the body, I'm like, who's the anus cells?
Sri Lanka. Actually, Sri Lanka is the anus. Which is amazing, because usually we think about the anus as something to shit.
The anus is something to shit. Yeah.
But actually in biology, you know that every mammal that exists in all the planet Earth, the first thing that is created in biology is the anus.
Really?
Then the heart.
Whoa.
Yeah. And basically because biologically you need a way in and a way out. So the first thing that you do is to absorb and expel, absorb and release. So that's why mouth and anus are the first thing, and that represents the line of the being since the very moment of creation. So basically, we are all assholes. That's how I like to put it, and biologically, that point there represents the axis of the planet or the being. So because we are seated right now, and where are we located? We're all the force of the body right now. It's in the anus, and when you meditate like this, all the alignment goes there. So the same place that we think is just to release. Actually is the place that aligns us and tells us you are here. This is who you are.
Wow.
So that's why South India, Sri Lanka is the planet's anus.
Well, thank you for making the anus so beautiful and poetic.
Well,
so I would, we've been in so many adventures. It's been bonkers.
Yeah.
I've been with you in Argentina. I've been with you in Egypt twice.
Yeah.
I've been with you in Greece and Turkey, and just watch you literally, be a portal and open portals and literally conjure storms.
Yeah.
And I would love for you to speak to that. 'Cause I mean, it's difficult to, a lot of people, imagine magic and, whatever is not in the tangible realm that we can measure.
Yeah.
And in your presence so many times, I have just seen with my own eyes the most unbelievable things happen. Like when we were in Delphi in Greece at the Tholos, and you were channeling Ahura Mazda, and Ahura Mazda was literally bringing in this storm. We have videos of it that's going to be in your documentary on Gaia, because I sent it to them.
Oh yeah, you sent it.
I sent it, yes. And for me, it was wild because I could see dragons in the sky as this was happening. And it's, they're wild stories, but when you're actually physically there, like in person, you're like, what is even life right now? And how is this happening? And I wanted to bring up that particular moment of my experience with you, because in this particular portal that we created.
Yeah, amazing. By the way,
the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life.
The Stargate.
I want to live here forever now. But basically, so this felt like a portal, and that moved into this crystal skull that was activated on the solar eclipse by a friend of ours, Grace. And, I'm not going to go into a whole thing about crystal skulls, but it's very, very significant. And it was activated by other crystal skulls that were used in Tibetan monasteries, and super just like unbelievably activating and like opening energy that is possible in crystal skulls. And the crystal skull was staring straight into your crown. And so anytime I would look up, I mean, we wanted to make the set beautiful, but it was also like so precise about exactly what needed to happen. And then as I would, look beyond you, there's dragons above us, which also felt
clouds.
like what happened for us in clouds, what I also felt like our experience in Greece was. So that's a very long-winded, probably unnecessary story to get to my desire for you to speak to, magic and what is happening for you. Like I remember after that experience in Greece, another friend of ours was being very like pragmatic and like, what were the chances that the weather was going to do that anyway? And what I loved your response, because it has impacted me so deeply in the way that I look at life, is what you said was that in the ancient cultures, their science was alchemy, and that they were measuring the relationship between things, not the actual things themselves. So like our science in modern day is us looking at what we can see, but actually the alchemy, the way that works is they're studying the relationship between things. And I think because you have that memory, has to be why all of these supernatural things happen around you constantly. But I would love for you to speak to it.
Yeah, it's the thing is that we today we kind of talk about magic as something that is in the movies or someone doing with one magical things like in Disney. But actually, magic come from Magouche, and Magouche was a scientist in Middle East. They were called like that because they were able to understand the chemistry of things. And actually, the first chemist that understood how to transform one thing into another were from Egypt, and that's why it's called chem. Chemistry comes from the name chem, which was the name of a Kemet. That was the name of Egypt. So al-Kemet or alchemy is the people of Chem of Egypt that knew how to do science, let's say. So the thing between science and magic is that, as you reminded, science means cut. To something that is science comes from the word that means to cut. Actually, it's the same origin of scissors. Science, scissors. So it's to cut pieces. So science studied the pieces, but alchemy studied the links between the pieces. So how lead can turn into gold is not because you think about gold or lead. It's because there is something there that makes them common. There's something in between that makes them common. And for example, we are electrical beings. So we have electricity all the time. Like every electrical pulse of the nerve system is like a thunderstorm within us. What happens if you align that power outside? So a thunderstorm can relate to this. So the more people are aligned to that connection of your nerve system with the nerve system of the planet, you can move a storm, actually. And it's kind of a quantum reality in which now science understands everything exists because we observe it. There's an observer. And that observer is not just us, like, oh, I am observing it. Thousands of beings are observing this. So that's why it exists. And so when you change your point of view of what you're observing, suddenly you see the links and you can transform that reality. So what are the odds that actually the storm was coming and it just happened because it was meant to happen and not because you did it? The thing is, in the quantum, there's no time and space. So everything was moved through time for you to be there and use that storm. So that's why when you see the links through time and space, there's no coincidence. Everything was precisely organized for that to happen in that moment.
Totally.
But we don't pay attention to these parts because we see the separate objects, like a person here doing a weird stuff and a storm coming. But
look at this kook over here that's got his hands all in the air. No, I mean, I love that. But just for like a hack for life, like what I've noticed being around you, like your life is such an adventure because you're putting all the pieces together and everything is so divinely orchestrated and woven in a way where your listening is so pristine That when spirit or synchronicity or whatever it may be is like, hey, here's an apple. And to any other person, they just be like, overlook that. But to you, you're like, oh, fuck, that is connected to this dream. That is connected to this. So it's like you actually are allowing for like the cosmos to speak to you in this magical way that most people, because they're not, one, I don't think that they believe stuff like that is possible. I think belief is everything.
Yeah.
But also they're just not listening really.
Yeah. The Atlantean philosophers, the masters, teachers, whoever, they used to say, well, it was a little bit strong, but we have the biggest insult that someone could tell you in the Atlantean times was empty jar. Like, which was garuk. So empty jar, because it means that your head is a jar or your heart is a jar, and it must have the water, the right water, for it to be heated like a crucible. So the water helps to change a frequency, a note. So it tells you what are you expressing. An empty jar doesn't do the right sound. That's what they say. So there's nothing in for you to actually. So they said, any empty jar can read. He used to say that. And what it means that you can.
I know a couple people that might be offended by that.
Yeah, I know. But they said any empty jar can read, but no all jars can listen. So that's why in the Atlantean times, we didn't write anything in the walls. It was all stone and listening, singing. So if you sing the right song, the stone will talk back to you. And that's how to pay attention to the song of the everything. Because everything that happens around will be an answer from the echo that you generated.
Totally.
So the wisdom comes when you learn how to listen to the universe, and not when you are actually doing something.
Totally.
And I got that very, very much because of my learning that time. And so that's why I'm all the time like paying attention to everything that is happening constantly. But there is a very thin line to get paranoid about anything, because the universe is, everything is one. So it means that anything can talk to you. So if you listen to everything, you're going to be paranoid all the time, because everything can give you something. So in order to receive the right thing, you have to be tuned in a specific symphony. Like, okay, this is the topic I am trying to work with. So you tune yourself to that, and then you open yourself to receive that specific information related to that specific topic or symphony that you created.
Wow.
Otherwise, you are listening to everything. And everything will make sense. That's the problem. Everything will make sense, but maybe it's not useful for you now. But it's all about learning how to listen. So pay attention to every detail. Like when we went to Turkey, you decided kind of randomly where to go, but actually it was specifically where we were supposed to be, because Turkey represents the head of the Kundalini of the planet, is the snake. So the two places where I was and when you were the two, how do you call ferns?
Like the fangs?
Fangs. Fangs of the snake. One in Troy, the other one in Bosom. So, and in the middle.
And Ephesus is where we went in Turkey.
Yeah, which is in the center, which is the tongue of the snake, where you sense the reality. And Ephesus means the bee. And I've been following the message of the bee, and go to the beehive of Greece, they told me. And you randomly said, we are going to Ephesus later. Do you want to come? And I said, sure, but I had no idea why I was there until I started to pay attention to everything. And well, all the magic happened of why we were there. But many stories that maybe I didn't even share to you because it was like
if I haven't talked to you for a day, there's like a lifetime of stories that I'm like, maybe where do we even, let's just say hi.
Yeah, because
how you doing?
It's too much.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it has been such like the deepest honor and adventure, just being your friend and ally. And yeah, I mean, my life is forever changed. I know there's so many people, who have gone through these really just potent, profound experiences in your presence. So thank you so much for what you do for literally everybody.
And thank you for allowing me to receive.
Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah.
I have one last question. I know we probably should wrap up pretty soon, but I'd love to hear from you. And you touched on it a little bit, just about sound, and in the in your past life in Chem, which was predating Egypt.
Yeah.
What was the way that they worked with sound?
Sound, well, there were many ways, but sound for us was the creation of everything. That's why even today, like in the Bible, they said, God is the verb, and God said, let be light. Mm-hmm. So because for all the ancient tradition, the word was technology to create. It was not just music to enjoy. Every sound, every particle of language represented specifically a portal towards a specific part of the body of God. So there were many layers on how we work with it. Of course, language was a specific mechanism that we had to use. That we have to use in a very coherent way. So we had like different types of languages in the same culture. Like, today, some people have like a high class way of talking, low class way of talking. But in that society, it was, we would learn the language according to our awareness. So you had to prove yourself that you were worth of your body, of your soul, and your mind all together in coherence. So you had to go through like 33 tasks that you had to accomplish, like the path of Hercules, the path of the hero, that you have to prove yourself worth in order to speak God's language.
Wow.
So then they taught you, because you had to be resonant in each part of your body in order to pronounce specific words that would change reality. Otherwise, you're just speaking nonsense. So the way that language was spoken, it was like poetry.
Wow.
So you had, and poetry actually is the origin of poetry, the one that we read today. The origin of it was spells. So we were talking in spells. And that became poetry, because the metric was needed in order to create geometry. So you create a pattern of geometry in sound through the rhythms. So music was a combination of holy trinities, which today is chords.
Yeah.
But these holy trinities were supposed to be in a specific position in order to create the cycle of fifth, for example, that creates actually a dodecahedron. So it was all about how to pronounce correctly the words in a rhythm that can create geometry in another dimension that can allow us to download it into the third dimension. So that's why the pyramids, for example, or the temples were built before in sound. And after the sound was complete, they knew the geometry. And then they could start building it.
Wow.
So it was all about that.
Yeah, and everything in Egypt and all of the temples, there's sound chambers.
Yeah.
I mean, and the relationship the relationship that happens, kind of touching on what you said earlier, just being, we went to all of the temples, down the Nile, and listening to the stones, they have a song. There's something that the vibration of what you sing unlocks some kind of pattern or portal or whatever it may be. And you and I actually sang in the Philae temple, in the temple of Isis.
Yeah, Mamisi. In the chamber of Mamisi, which is the mother of Isis.
You were in front of me and I was behind you, and we were both just like singing the same song in harmony.
Yeah.
And there were moments where there was no light coming from the sun behind us, but we both raised our hands and the whole room got light. And it's just like, so, I mean, really coming back to, just the significance of sound.
Yeah.
I mean, I really believe as a, culture, we're really only beginning to scratch the surface on what it is as a technology.
Yeah.
Not only for healing, but for activating potential, for downloading information, for so many different things. And I really appreciate you being able to put words to something that I feel when I'm, when I'm in it. People are like, do you know what you're going to, I'm just like, I'm just listening, and it literally just happens.
And also some things like what happened, the language of the sound that you don't know what you're saying, but actually because you're channeling the frequencies that are around, you start to pronounce the words by resonance, because it's resounding outside and inside. So that's why we call it light language. For example, you're speaking light language. It's not a language that someone is actually speaking in another dimension. Light language is basically not light, is sound language, which is all the frequencies, symphonies that combine this existence, because everything is basically vibrating. So it's one of the laws of the universe. Everything vibrates. So when you tune in the specific vibration, you start to allow yourself to sing without words. You sing frequencies. So that's how packages of information comes in, and it sounds like language, but actually it's not a specific language.
Yeah.
It's the information that is in the moment.
It's exactly how I always try to describe it. And wow.
Yeah, and when you say it, you channel it for it to exist, to be manifested. Yeah. That's why there were many words that you were singing that actually made sense in the language I remember.
And it's always changing. It's not like something that I learned in my mind. It's just what happens, just intuitively in every single moment. And they're shaping the reality. They're shaping the sacred geometry. And it's such a beautiful gift to be an instrument of listening in that way. In my own way. My instrument is sound, and yours is memory and conjuring storms and being the most epic and most funny human being probably on planet Earth. So
trying.
You're doing so good. Thank you so much for dropping in, for being part of this. And I'm already feeling like just the desire to create more of these spaces and be in support of whatever it is that, you have happening in your life, and being part of the nourishment of getting to surgically put things back together for all of the places that you're constantly going. And so, we'll definitely do this again. We'll make it, make sure it's a real good portal. I love you. Yay. Oh my God, thank you. I got so excited by everything. I forgot about the whole point. Wow. So, as I mentioned, this series is called I Am Unique Sound. And it's particularly prevalent to you because your whole organization is called Yo Soy, which is I Am. And so if there is an I Am statement that you feel encapsulates like your unique code that you have to share with the world?
Well, of course, I would say I am, but since the eclipse, I would love to honor a part that has been misused and misunderstood in history, which is time. So I would say I am time. Yeah.
And what does that mean to you?
Well, lately, all the messages that I have received is this dark, deep voice of a being that repeats constantly, "You broke time, you broke my heart." And the feeling was that time is trapping us in a loop, because in different moments in history, we broke time's heart, which is this entanglement of realities, and we try to break it to see what is behind it, trying to control time, trying to manage it for our own purpose, like trying to...
Do you mean with like the splitting of the atom and things like
this? Yeah, the splitting of the particles, in every experiment that we are breaking that, but also in when we try to overcome time, like we want everything right now. We want to live forever, and we blame time about,
or like
many
when
things.
when it's in the future with something that we don't have now, we'll finally be happy. Something, like reaching or like ruminating on how things used to be.
Yeah. So there's this thing about our relationship with time. It's broken. We don't use properly time. Also, for example, we broke time in the way that we don't respect the solstices and equinoxes anymore. We don't know what time is it actually. We don't follow.
Without a phone,
we don't follow the actual rhythm of the planet, and because of that, we are stressed all the time. So we actually got out of time.
Wow.
And the feeling is, you broke me, and in a concept, in the feeling, and scientifically. So it's been repeatedly someone saying tick tack. Bring it back, repair time. And repair means put the pairs together, which is space and time. So like different timelines were created because of what we are doing. So when I felt this, I said, okay, I have to become time to honor that part and try to align myself a little bit more with that sometimes I don't do, and try to do it as an example.
And I really think for all of us, it actually was part of my desire of releasing these episodes every full moon, knowing that like every full moon, like you get to be present to whatever energetics are happening in the cosmos. That's like, it's important.
Yeah, very important.
It's so important. To like reconnect with the rhythms of existence, really.
Which is, everyone talks about, go back to your heart, but the heart is the law of rhythm. Tum, 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 tum.
Yeah.
And we don't follow it.
Yeah.
We don't follow solstices, equinoxes, moons. And so we are out of tune of the heart of time. So that's why it's your broke time. And that's why I would say, I am time.
I am time. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
So good.